on communication?
I think the marketing people need to come to HR and the HR people need to go to them, because
Okay.
Communication is not restricted to one particular department or one particular person. Communication is the bread and butter of running any organization. And I think this is a strategy which should not be made in isolation either by the marketing people. The principle behind it is that you have to seek first to understand, then to be understood. If you are giving the same message of downsizing or hiring or retaining or attracting to the production department, the communication strategy has to be of the same wavelength, the same language. And if you are giving a message to the IT department, again it has to be adapted. But what has to be very clear about it is that the communication during these times has to be formal, informal, frequent, and also not just through training sessions, through what is very important these days, and that is something each manager and each individual needs to learn: coaching. Now, coaching is misunderstood over here as part training, part mentoring, part counseling. Coaching is a designed system which produces results. So if I want that this particular manager of mine should be able to increase his sales by this %, the coaching session has to be designed with the ROI of that session. This is what I'd like to go back to the first question you asked. If you want to convince the CEO is only convinced if he sees the results, that what is the money involved. Now, if you go to a bank and you want to borrow a loan, you have to show them the numbers, that if we do this, these will be the numbers in the first year, second year, third year. When you go to the boardroom and you want money for coaching or HR or for retaining, then the HR manager has to make a very convincing pitch of the numbers involved and the results sought. It's not going to be one more feel-good training or coaching. It's going to be coaching and training which is going to produce results, which is going to be linked to the company strategy and policy.
Okay, very good, very good. Mr. Akram, sir, after Mr. Akram, yes.
All very good thoughts, but when we talk about communication, we need to make certain distinctions. In communication, we need to differentiate between broadcasting, talking to the people, and talking with the people. Okay? And what is the purpose of the communication? So effective communication is important. Before you communicate, you need to understand that you need to first understand what are you communicating. Now, within the context of the topic of this panel, that what has changed and where are we heading? So HR people need to first understand that what is the impact of this change for the company, what parts of the organization will be impacted, how it will be impacted, and what will be the impact of these changes on the people. So once you understand that,
only then can you make them understand.
Go back, because whenever anything is changing, everybody is looking at what is changing, how it is changing, and the biggest question which everybody carries is, what's in it for me? How is it going to impact me? So it is the role of the HR through the medium of communication to go and explain to the people that all these change which we are talking about, how it is going to impact them. Whether that individual's position is protected, that individual's career is protected, we need to go back and tell them, okay, there is a joint partnership with the company. We have to create that, okay, these are difficult times, these are the measures which we are taking, this is how we are going to sustain and overcome this difficulty, how this is going to impact you directly, what is the promise in it once we are successful. So, but if you do all that, before you can do all that, you need to first understand yourself, what is happening, how the company is going about it, and how it is going to impact people, get convinced, and do effective communication, not just broadcasting or talking to the people.
So feedback is very important. So the next topic that we're going to talk about is cutting back on training and development. Now this is another area that every organization has to face during the downturn, especially in the HR department. Read the quote, very beautiful. So the CEO is often heard saying, well, the money I'm going to spend on these people, on their training, what if they leave my organization? So your response to the CEO could be, what if you don't train them and they stay with you? So what are the ramifications of the opposite side? How do you get your CEO to understand the second statement? That's my question. Sir, you can start if you feel.
You see, this is a knee-jerk reaction. At the moment there's a crunch situation, the first thing that starts to happen is cut down on headcount, cut down on training, on food costs, all the ancillaries that go with administration, etc., are immediately cut down, while the others may be managed. But I think one thing that must never be contemplated is cutting down on training and development. As earlier pointed out by one of the gentlemen on the right, that is actually a time of opportunity. That's the opportunity when you can really prepare people not only for getting through the crisis situation that they are facing at present, but also prepare them for future challenges. And there can be no better opportunity than that. And making them realize that if they would not gird up their loins and if they would not acquire the right kind of technological know-how or behavioral competencies or leadership competencies, they would be the losers ultimately. Not only the company will suffer, that they individually also will suffer. And I would like to add here on communication that actually is that you have to convince these people to go through the extra mile in case of training and development. The chief executive must be told in terms of money also, because a lot of chief executives today are very conscious of ROI and they want exact numbers before them. And for that, the HR has to go through some of the modern methodologies of calculating ROIs, and they have to equip themselves. And that is where education, specialist education in HR management comes into focus, that people must acquire this new technique of presenting and showing people the money that is involved.
Show me the money.
If they train today, what will be the benefits that they would reap tomorrow?
ठीक है, मिस्टर अकरम, कमिंग बैक टू यू, फायज साहब आपके पास आते हैं. आपने पहले कहा था कि यार कभी कभी जब मुश्किल हालात होते हैं तो बात की बात तो छोड़ो, अभी का सर्वाइवल मुश्किल होता है. एंड यहाँ पे स्टेटमेंट आई है कि इफ यू डोंट प्रिपेयर फॉर टुमारो यू विल नॉट सर्वाइव टुडे. हाउ, व्हाट इफ यू आर लुकिंग एट दिस पिक्चर फ्रॉम द अदर साइड? आपका सीईओ अगर आपको वो प्रेजेंट करता है पिक्चर कि जी मेरे पास तो अभी का सर्वाइवल मुश्किल है, कैन यू स्टिल मेक द केस फॉर ट्रेनिंग? And if so, how will you make that case?
देखिए, I stick to my earlier stand. I don't look at organizations as emotional. They are very dry, hard and fact.
ठीक है.
For any decision, whether it is for hiring somebody, whether it is making investment in training or in any venture, you have to start by first creating and demonstrating the present value for the proposition. If you don't cross that barrier, you cannot sell your proposition for the future return.
ठीक, very well, very beautifully said, Mr. Faiz. आप से हमारी डिस्कशन हो रही थी पैनल से पहले, and you brought up a really interesting point कि ट्रेनिंग पे अगर स्लैश पढ़ना है and then you have limited budgets, will you still go with the same training plan you had 6 months ago, or will you shift your focus? And if you will shift your focus, where should that focus shift to, sir?
Hassan, I think this question of yours also relates with what I earlier was either wanting to say or I partially said. You know, the training and development is again to meet an objective. You cannot plan and design and implement a training and development effort without an objective.
ठीक.
If the objective of the training and development is only the retention of those people you would like to retain after the fad is gone, then I think, you know, we've been talking about different theories and there are theoretical frameworks available about the motivation and theory of motivation. And I was so happy this morning when one of the presenters, and I was, you know, starving to listen to these things, pointed out that we have to engage hands, hearts and heads. And when he reached at head, I thought he might also move to the fourth dimension, because the man would not be complete bringing